All righty. Good evening. I hope you're doing wonderful today. I am doing a class on strengthening your interior. We did one a couple weeks ago in Spanish. And so for those of you that are excited about starting the new year with something that's going to not only support you in your digestion and detox, et cetera, but it's also going to help reset your hormones, improve the way your diabetes or high blood pressure, triglycerides, cholesterol levels are. It's going to help with anxiety and depression as well, because when we're healing our gut, we're actually supporting that aspect. We're balancing out the chemicals by removing things that are stuck in our bodies, whether that's skin, gut, liver, kidney, whatever that you're working with, colon, all those things. You have to think of your body as a drain. And when you're looking down your drain in your sink and you see clogged stuff, it smells, it's not fun. There's things that don't easily flow, and the same thing with our body. So it's important for us to be able to do this, because once we do, then everything goes well, right? Not everything, I shouldn't say everything, but I always get excited and I generalize, but things get better. Okay. My goal is for you all to feel your best, to be able to implement tools on a daily basis, not a one and done type of deal where you're coming in, sweeping up, and it's going to all of a sudden fix itself. It's going to take some time and dedication, and most definitely consistency for you to be able to see those impacts in your health, whether that is a pre-existing condition or a metabolic syndrome, or maybe you're struggling with weight. So this is a great approach to begin clearing up and then settling a foundation of health and wealth with some of the products that we're going to be talking about. Now, this is a 90-day rollout where we're going to do 30 days of what I'm going to talk about today. And then we'll have a 60-day plan for you and then a 90-day plan for you, which will be magnificent because it rolls you out for 3 months without you even having to reinvent or figuring out like, okay, what am I going to do next? Like, what's next after this? So I'm going to clean up my intestine and my skin and my colon and my liver, but what's next? So we've got that all squared away for you. You can get started, whether you're brand new or an existing client on LRP, getting those put together. This month, we have the lovely metabolic blend for free. It's a 5 milliliter with your 125 PB order. And if I'm not mistaken, if my math isn't wrong right now, that this 5 product lineup that can help you begin your cleansing journey, and your, more than anything, not cleansing, but you're strengthening your interior journey, will give you all of that and you'll have that metabolic blend for free, which is really exciting, an extra little perk on LRP. And as a brand new client, we always like to pamper you with a welcome gift to give you all the tools and all the empowerment be able to walk with us and allow us to serve you and support you and be here for you through the next 3 months of what will be resetting your body and strengthening your interior, and for the months and days and weeks and years to come. We are a company that creates product that is top of the line that works at cellular level, and it's something that you're going to consume month by month to reinforce you as we are working every day, thinking every day, digesting every day, eating every day. We need that support so that we can fuel our body, and you can find that here. So I'm very excited to present this to you. And if you're watching the recording, please reach out to the person that invited you to watch this so that you and them can come up with the perfect scenario for you to make it super simple, glide you right through it. I'm going to try to do my best tonight to explain everything that is to know to get you excited and motivated to begin your journey with strengthen your interior. So here I go. All right, let me start by first off sharing my screen. My screen. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Fabiola. I am on Instagram as Fabulously Healing, and I'm fabulously healing, and I hope that you will be too. Together as a team, we are excited to be able to support you in any journey that you might be wanting to really kind of dive into. I want to share with you guys kind of my own experience with this particular 30-day strengthen your interior dealio. For me personally, I had a lot of success with doing a partial of it, even before we kicked it off in October. We've already tried to do this before with our clients, and it was very successful. But for me personally, I like to share my testimony. I had done, let's see here, was it like 4 out of the, no, actually I was doing them all, not in the same consistency as the 30 days, but I definitely was doing them all to support my body. And I was really struggling with hormonal imbalance. I wasn't getting a period every month. I skipped my period, and it was like stressful. So what I needed it to do is to be able to help me kind of pull out some of those toxins that were in my body, or revamp some of the areas, whether that was my liver to support in a lot of these different aspects, because a lot of the liver issues can throw off our metabolic system, right? And so our metabolism. And so anyway, I found that for me, my biggest change was that where I was actually digesting more, pooping more, if we want to say it that way, which is good when we're getting rid of things that are inside of us, making less toxicity in the body and allowing things to work better, such as our hormone, et cetera, et cetera. So here we go. This is Strengthen Your Interior. I've shared with you my testimony, and I want you to enjoy this presentation. Strengthen Your Interior is a 90-day transform your health, which we've talked about. And so how is it that we're going to start, right? What is it that we're going to do? So in this 5-product lineup, we start off for the first 10 days taking what is called the GX Assist. It is the first step to digestive maintenance. It supports your body by getting rid of some of the things that are stuck in that intestine, that are lingering in there, softens that up without being super intense, right? You're getting the antiviral and antimicrobial benefits from oils such as thyme, oregano, and it's very helpful to also support with that caprylic acid, which provides a natural cleanse and healthy digestive system. So remember, we're clearing out the sewer, we're cleaning out the pipes inside of us, right? And it starts with our intestine. Our intestine, for those of you that don't know this, and I'll talk about it here in just a second again, but our intestine is actually like, it holds like 70% of our whatchamacallit. Oh my gosh, blanking over here, of our immune system. So imagine that. Imagine going to war without the proper armory, right? So that's kind of what happens when we don't set our immune system for success. Even with December and November being months where we actually indulge and we have great things like tamales and pozole, actually, in my culture, or we have Dia de los Reyes coming up here. What is it, on Saturday, that we'll also have rosca. And, those are things that are not necessarily healthy for us, but we have them with so much love and so much desire and so much happiness, because it's the thing that we do during this time. My point is that when we indulge in those things and we don't have a solid system, if you're not building up that system, when we have these environmental threats such as viruses, etc., for example, you're setting up your immune system, which is 70% of it is made up or found in your intestine, for not a success. And so it's important to set you up with success by providing these tools, starting off the year this way, and working towards solidifying your foundation and your entire body as we progress through year by year. I will guarantee that if you stick to this regimen and you fortify your interior by using top of the line cellular level working supplements, you're going to find that all of a sudden, not only are you digesting well, your diabetic numbers or A1Cs are getting better, your blood pressure is getting better, your et cetera, it's getting better. But as you're incorporating good eating habits and exercise, et cetera, sleeping and balancing out your stress well, managing your stress well, I should say, you're going to have a better year every year health-wise. And so I'm really excited about that for you. So let me see here. Let's see if I can try this again. Oh. All right. So what we want to know about this product specifically is that it is a 60 capsule supplement. Okay. You have to take this for 10 days with meals. You take 1 to 3 a day. So you can do one with each meal. and that's fine. You can start slow by doing one with your biggest meal of the day, and you could take it before or after, whatever works for you, but just take that, right? And do that for 10 days. Now, I want to pause and say, for people that are pretty diseased, that have like possibly like candida or fungal things going on, that beforehand you already know this, I would like for you to share that with that person that invited you to watch this, so that we can actually tweak this a little bit, where we will start slow, but we will probably have you do it longer than 10 days. And it's going to be totally fine. You're not going to run into any issues. It's just that you obviously need a little bit more support for longer, and that's totally fine. So anyway, the average person here, let's assume that you don't have any candida, signs of candida, etc. We're going to run you for 10 days. You take that, you put it away. You can use it when you're ill. You can use it when you want to, when you maybe traveled, or maybe you're eating like it's, what do you call it, Halloween, or it's a birthday, or you went out to Vegas and you really want to indulge, whatever. I'm just giving you scenarios. Then GX Assist is a great idea to do after you're back, so you can kind of cleanse, pull things out of your gut, and fortify your immune system as well with the oils that are in here that can do that for you, like oregano and tea tree oil, etc., that are found in this particular blend. So that is your GX Assist. That's number one. Gliding into number two, which is our PB Assist. What happens after we are done with our cleansing of the gut, when we swept out all the cobwebs and we are getting that looking good and spiffy for us, we have to replenish what we sometimes get rid of when we clean up. And also, not only that, but we have to make it a habit. So this is a product that you are going to be wanting to take on a daily basis, even after the 30 days. Why? Because this promotes a positive balance of the proliferation of beneficial bacteria. What in the heck does that mean? So everybody has good and bad bacteria. A lot of us that have taken antibiotics sometimes sweep the good and the bad out of our intestine and out of our body. And this can throw off our intestines. It can throw off our microbiome, and our microflora is all jacked up in a sense after doing that. That's one example. Another example is when we are maybe drinking too much. Maybe we partied like a rock star when we were 21. I know I did. And or we took a lot of ibuprofen, or take a lot of ibuprofen, or take a lot of medication. This is where you want to support your entire microbiome, because that gets really wrecked. And so you're creating happy flora in different areas, not just your gut, but also your oral health, your genitalia, et cetera, et cetera. And this is something that's fundamental. It's a 30-day deal. You take one every single day. They taste like a pixie stick, and you just kind of go with it every single day to support your microbiome. It's a gut complex that has a sister or a brother, however you want to look at it, that I would highly recommend, but we're not going to focus too much on that right now. I just want to set it off super simple for you. So this is something that you'll take on a daily basis if you have for sure leaky gut, or have big issues with your gut. We could talk about incorporating PB Assist Plus is sister. Well, that's a tongue twister. We'll talk about that when that time is due. But this alone, it not only does that intestinal microflora balance, but it also supports your digestive system, your immune system, your GI tract, your intestines, and your colon, which is a big deal, right? You want to have good microflora in all of those areas, right? We want to have happy colonization, happy people living, doing the jobs that they need to be doing in there, and making zero room for bad people or bad bacteria or pathogens that are to settle into those areas, causing issues down the line. So along with that, it helps support your metabolism and the absorption of optimal foods, so healthy foods, et cetera. And you're going to take this daily. And then obviously, like I mentioned earlier, we want you to continue to make this a habit of taking it, not only for the 30 days, but through and through and through. Everybody needs probiotics. It is incredibly important, and it breaks down and absorbs nutrients from the diets that we are having, especially those of us that have big goals at the beginning of the year of eating really healthy. Let's maintain those nutrients so we feel better, healthier, living longer, healthier is the goal. And really supporting that balance of the carbohydrates. This also is a great option for stress, physical exertion, and toxins in the diets, exposure to harmful organisms and other factors that want to come live with us to avoid having them move in. Kind of, I'm being a little repetitive here. I got a little bit ahead of myself, but that's exactly what it does. It avoids any colonization of those things and keeps functional and friendly microorganisms, aka good bacteria, in the intestine by taking this on a daily basis. So again, something that you're going to continuously use, just like we brush our teeth every day, you're going to probiotic every day. Okay. A little more sciencey things. 8 million genes of microbes exceed 20,000 human genes. This implies that this implies imbalances in disorders as diverse as cancer, obesity, intestinal inflammation or IBS, psoriasis, asthma, and perhaps also autism. So when we, in other words, when we have a unhealthy microbiome, I should say, when our organism of that microbiome, I was going to say transparent, but that's not the word I'm looking for that sort of like imaginary or transparent, that transparent organ in our body known as our microbiome is covering us and shielding us. If we don't bring in good probiotics, for example, in other terms, that have all these different strands that are going to be built into the different areas of our bodies to support us, and we come across these issues such as asthma, cancer, obesity, a lot of times it's because we haven't really supported that strength of it by using a proper and top of the line absorbable probiotic. And here you can definitely find that with this ProBiome line. And I think it's very important to know this. It's very important to acknowledge that this is a thing. The microbiome is a thing, and we need to start nurturing it and strengthening it and loving on it by using top of the line probiotics that are going to be absorbed. Now, for those of you that are familiar with probiotics, you may wonder, do I have to refrigerate these? These you do not refrigerate it. Earlier I mentioned its brother or its sister. There's another ProBiome product that goes with, ideally they're meant to be taken together, but you can take the one to begin, right? But that one is, after, if you're not going to use it, every day for 30 days, then you will want to refrigerate it, and just to keep it nice and well, the airtight, it's not oxidizing the different strands in the capsule, et cetera, et cetera. So I said capsule, I said sister or brother of the ProBiome packets that I just talked about. I don't want to confuse you, but I definitely want to mention it to you, so the person that invited you to watch this recording can explain to you what that would look like if you wanted to incorporate both. Okay, it's not like you're not going to be in the negatives if you don't take both. I want to create, and what we've done here is created something that's functional, that's affordable, and that will get you the party started. And if you want to add and really focus on the microbiome, then add that second piece to it. Okay, so I'll stop there because sometimes I get excited and I want to talk a lot about something that may not be as complicated as I think it might be in my head if I was new. But anyway, just ask the questions. Just know that we're going to take care of you. Okay. That's some good tea. Okay, so the third product, we've talked about cleansing out the intestine, supporting that, then nurturing it with a good probiotic like the microbiome, the ProBiome sachets that you're going to take on a daily basis with food. Now we got to talk about the digestive enzymes. Now, I have a little experiment that I did when I was teaching this class in person. We had a big event out here in Vancouver, Washington, and we had pudding out. And we poured a Terrazyme, which is what I'm going to talk about here in a second, being the third product lineup here in this lineup. And what it started to do to that pudding, if you're familiar with that, I think it's gross, but if you like pudding, I'm sorry to offend you. I think it's so nasty. And the ingredients are not that great, but it is a United States hot snack item, apparently. And a lot of kids enjoy it. So, it does have a lot of sugar in it, like a lot of sugar. There's a lot of fructose in it, and fructose can cause a lot of issues in the body. Alone, for a child, for example, that has either autism or ADHD, those sugars will cause it to get to the brain, and the body will be all out of whack. And so in this case, I use that as an example to highlight if you happen to have a pudding and you get started with this, or you decide that digestive enzymes are important, because they are. This is another one that you would be taking on a daily basis, even after the 30 days, that you want to do this little project, pour those into the pudding and swirl it around and watch how quickly, if you're following me on Instagram, I'm going to show you guys later with yogurt, but watch how quickly that liquefies. And that's exactly what it's doing. It's breaking down those aspects of that pudding, in a sense, that people really enjoy, but cause a lot of destruction, in a sense, in the gut, cause swelling, inflammation, digestive issues. They go to the brain and it starts to throw people off. You know, all the brain and the gut are very much correlated and related, and they work hand in hand. And one is off, the other one will be off. This is why it's important to incorporate a digestive enzyme on a daily basis, regardless of what age. You can actually, I have clients that use digestive enzymes for little babies on formula that are having a hard time digesting that. We put half a capsule into their formula. They take that, it helps digest, it reduces the eczema. Surprising how the gut and everything else work together. But it's a really awesome supplement, and animals use it as well. I don't mean to go too out of the subject, but it is something that a lot of people benefit from, all ages. Okay, so the digestive enzymes, or digestive pterozymes, are digestive enzyme complex that are proteins that specialize in being a catalyst for nearly all cellular functions that are needed for breathing, thinking, immune functions, hormone regulations, body detoxification, which is the biggest highlight, what we're talking about tonight, and thousands of biochemical functions. So notice how it works with these two major aspects of the body, organs of the body, the pancreas and the liver. So these enzymes that are actually found in the body, or that you give to the body, help these two different organs work better. In other terms, it gives them the ability to do their job best, to absorb and to nurture them, and to give them the power, or the gas, or the energy, or the whatever you want to call it, to get their job done and do it better for us, so that we're functioning much better. In the digestive enzymes, or the pterozymes, you're going to find different strands of enzymes. They have different functions. Some of them are helping you break down proteins, such as a steak. Let's say you have a steak and all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, that was a lot. And you're having a hard time breaking that down. I would really highly suggest to take your pterozymes in this case. Why? Because that's going to help break down that flesh. Oh my gosh, flesh. I use that word flesh. It sounds so weird. I do love steak, but that word makes me not want to eat it. Okay. So the the steak will break down and not rot, in a sense, in your tummy, causing issues like gas and constipation. The last thing you want to do is have that hang out in there for too long, right? So give the gut the ability to break it down. Then it has things like papain that split proteins, that, oh my God. Am I just this? Yeah, I was like, the glare in this was like, okay. Anyway, okay. So another of the strands helps break down or split carbohydrates, starches, and sugars. This is the example with the pudding, where it made that liquefy. It was breaking it down so the intestine doesn't have to worry about working extra hard, breaking something that it's not used to. In reality, our bodies are super smart. They know what they want, what they are capable of breaking down, what they're not. Even vegetables, or certain vegetables that you have to either cook or eat raw for the stomach to best absorb and digest them. So another thing to think about. So another one that will help, lipase, is another one of the strands that breaks down fats, oils, and that are absorbed in the intestines. It splits milk, lactose, and sugar. So those of you that are lactose intolerant as well. Let's just say that you're having some good what do you call it? Like vegetables, right? It helps split complex produce that inflame, or complex foods that inflame, like produce or even legumes that kind of create gases or inflammation in the stomach. So it helps break those down or split them up so that you can digest them easier. And then it breaks down the fibers that help digest fruits and vegetables and absorb the nutrients. from them. Another really cool thing is fructose and glucose. Or some of the gluten. Like a lot of us really like bread, and we find, even though this is kind of controversial a little bit. Give me 1 second. I'm actually gonna shush my son. I am in a class. And also lower your voice. And you stop the splashing. Okay, the beauty of being out here. Of being out here supporting the cause while we've got family in the room. Okay, so, or in the house. We've got one bathing and the other one's playing with his friend. Okay, so I was talking about how it helps split that sucrose and fructose and glucose for energy. So it's that gluten that we were talking about a minute ago. That's where I was at. It's very controversial. It's controversial because we are told that gluten, it does cause all these problems, right? And in the United States, what we're seeing also is that a lot of that gluten, or the things that have gluten, like the wheat, is actually also sprayed with glyphosate, which is the actual problem. However, regardless of the controversy, I want to mention that because it is in my head, and I'm trying to dig in deeper. Regardless of, let's say that you have a gluten intolerance, or you're struggling with gluten very, very heavily, like you're the one person that's like really, really struggling with it. What you want to consider is taking these before you have bread, any pastas, whatever, anything that's going to have that heavy starch, etc., to support breaking that down, so that you don't have that bloated stomach looking like you're 9 months pregnant. Because I've been there, done that, and I used to look like after eating steak, sugars, breads, etc., but not anymore. Thank you, Terrazymes. So that is your nutshell what Terrazymes can do for you. Obviously, a lot. This is something that you will want to partner up for life to support your body. We all eat, we all digest, we are all eating something that will cause some type of funkiness. And even if we don't, right, let's say we eat super healthy, if you're eating all vegetables, you still need support breaking those down. And you want to be able to give the body the support to, if you're eating very healthy, to absorb the nutrients from those health foods by incorporating enzymes or Terrazymes. So you would take 1 to 3, not 2, 1 to 3, depending on your case. Obviously, talk to the person that invited you to watch, so you can understand for your special case. Like, for example, for me, I like to take 2 with each of my meal. Of course, I also have my husband do the same thing, because we tend to do better with that, with kind of that regimen. But then also, as far as our inflammation goes, like we have areas of our bodies, like he's been in an accident, I've had 2 babies, there's areas of inflammation. And when I'm taking them in this way, I take 2 with each meal. I help the nutrients that are going to nurture those areas of my body do a better job, absorb better, support better, and then break down some of the tortillas. We eat tortillas a lot here in the house. A lot of our culture incorporates things that will cause bloating, etc. Although I have swapped out a lot of the oils, like we don't use vegetable oils in the house. We do a lot of red meats in the house, so those things need to be broken down, and this is a really great way for us. So you introduce it to fresh produce and raw food with each meal. If meals include, my gosh, my notes. If meals include fresh produce and raw food, you take 1 with each meal. So it's basically what I was just telling you, right? So use discernment to how you eat. So if you're going out to sushi, for example, take 2 prior or 1 prior. If you have medium rare steak like we do, you want to take that with it, right? So things like that. And especially if you're using veggies and eating a whole bowl of salad with salmon, you want to be able to break down some of the starches in the spinach or the kale, etc., and absorb the nutrients from that salmon, for example. All right. Let's talk about Zendocrine. So Zendocrine is one of my favorite products. Oh my gosh. I wish more people were here so I didn't feel like the awkward silence. But Zendocrine is a detoxification complex that I use in so many different ways. But let's just focus on one thing. If you're watching this recording, I want you to think about this. I don't know if you know this, but our skin is actually the biggest organ of our body. Like, this is huge. When I was told that when I was a kid and I was told that, I was like, what? The organ? Like, you think organs as like internal things, but no, actually our organs, our biggest organ is our skin, our protector. It protects us. It protects us for so many different things. And it also absorbs a lot of different things that are beneficial to us, such as essential oils, right? And so what we don't realize is a lot of the exposure, because it's obviously exposed a lot. Some of us are not aware that detergents are so heavy on the skin, and we wear clothes, right, all day long, and that's being absorbed. It's absorbing whatever you use to clean your textiles with, whether that's good or bad. And oftentimes, like, we could say like 99% of the people like are not aware that the detergent is very toxic. This is a big example. Why? Because as you're absorbing that, then we have oxidative stress, oxidated cells, oxidated situation of imbalancement of hormones. We have infertility because we are absorbing so many chemicals through our skin, not just through our lungs, but also through our skin. And so I like to talk about Zendocrine, especially if you've been an avid user of chemicals and you're looking to support, you're like, I don't understand why I'm not losing weight. Like, I do all the things, I have the stubborn fat. A lot of the chemicals like to be stored in the fat. And so if you're able to cleanse your body, your major organ, for example, like your skin, you can definitely do it with Zendocrine. Zendocrine is an herb complex. It's not an oil complex. It's an herb complex of milk thistle, dandelion root, rhubarb. I think it's like on the third page or whatever, but it is a really great product because it helps not only detoxify the skin, but it also detoxes your lungs. So if you ever have any respiratory stuff going on, take this. It's going to help detox the lungs. The colon, like, I know we're focusing on digestion specifically, but this is important. Colon, the kidneys, the liver, all the areas of the body, because everything works together. Like, there's people that don't have a gallbladder, I think is what the thing that people or appendix or whatever that people snip off. Like, every part of our body we need, right? But unfortunately, like, things go sour because of what we introduce to our body system, and we have to get rid of things that we think that we can maybe get rid of, and then all of a sudden we don't have that, and our body is like confused because it's not there. So in that case, we still need all of these areas to support so that we can help filter out things that are stuck because our body doesn't know what's going on. It's something's missing, like our appendix, our gallbladder, all those things come missing, and the body wouldn't know the difference anyway, so it's freaking out. So you can support it with something like Zendocrine, right, to help detoxify, something like GX Assist to help pull things out and to get things going, flowing. This is why it's important to have proper digestion. So anyway, so the function is for it to cleanse your liver, your kidneys. So we're talking fatty liver, et cetera, et cetera. It is awesome to reduce cholesterol, relieves constipation and diarrhea. It's great for treating irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. It relieves hemorrhoids by cleansing, right? Because when you cleanse and remove the toxins, there's no swelling that needs to happen in those areas where we struggle with hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids typically happen because we have a bad digestive system. And if we have a good digestive system, if we do all the work, we cleanse it, we nurture it by giving it the proper enzymes to break and absorb, and we throw in some probiotics that are top of the line that are going to create a good, happy home for all these things to happen, you're not going to have these big issues of hemorrhoids. Rhubarb, I don't know why I said rhubarb, but okay, I see what it is. So it's talking about some of the functions in here. Like, for example, rhubarb is a medicinal plant with a powerful stimulating and digestive effect. And rhubarb, like I mentioned earlier, maybe didn't, is in this complex. Traditional uses include treatment for constipation, diarrhea, fever, menstrual problems. Remember my own testimonial. I was having a lot of menstrual issues. When we are filled with toxins or toxic load, stress, all these different things, we start to create this crazy imbalancement, and helping the liver function correctly by using Zendocrine and maybe detoxing my skin from old use of Bath and Body Works perfume, expensive perfumes, cheap perfumes, Victoria's Secret, chemicals from makeup. This really has helped me a lot with my own cycle. I'm 30, whatever it is that I am, going on 25, I say, because of a lot of these products. I don't feel my age. And a lot of people in my 30s, everybody that I talk to, are either complaining or tired, or they don't digest well. And I'm like, let's have a conversation, because I feel better now than I did when I was in my 20s. I didn't have a period every month. They keep talking about my period, but I think it's a big deal. A lot of us women do struggle with imbalancement of hormones, infertility. I couldn't get pregnant for my that's why my kids are like 8 months apart. 8 months apart. Oh my God. That would be crazy. 8 years apart, because of these reasons, because I started to implement tools, basic tools here and there, slowly but surely, and it has completely changed my life. And that's what I would like for a lot of you. So anyway, moving on. And also when people are dealing with like jaundice, so any liver issues, really, like jaundice related things, all goes back to that liver situation. So supporting the body with something like this, powerful herbs, and you're going to find that in this wonderful detoxification complex. Dandelion root, it's a diuretic, and it potentially boosts the immune system, obviously, right? Because when your digestive system as well, your immune system as well. How funny, right? It has anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, bacterial, and antioxidant properties. That's dandelion root, right? Milk thistle, that's also found in here, is used to treat liver and gallbladder diseases. Remember, we spoke about that earlier. And it has been used in alternative medicine as an aid in, I don't know why there's so much spacing in between the words, throwing me off here, in the treatment of heartburn and symptoms of temporary allergies. Why? Everybody that has allergies and that can swallow capsules, I put them on Zendocrine. Because when we can remove the histamine, the toxic environment inside our body, from skin to colon to kidney to liver to whatever, you are creating a happy foundation in here, that all of a sudden your allergies are not flaring up. You're not seeing that histamine come in the spring, and you have a lot of histamine out there from all the beautiful trees. You're not going to absorb that and cause negative effects, crying eyes, itchiness, hives, etc., because you're going to create a great structure, foundation, support in your body to attack. Remember, you got to go to every season of the year with the right weapons. So prepare yourself, fortify yourself, strengthen your interior. I had a call with one of my clients this Tuesday, yeah. It's like a double Monday this week. And she was telling me how her goal when we started was to support her digestion and support her allergies and So we're having a conversation, and this is one of the products that she was using. She's using the Terrazymes, the old probiotics. These are new. These are awesome and better, a lot better, even though the other ones were also awesome. Terrazymes and whatever else. But out of the products I'm talking about today, she was using 3 of them. 3 of them? Yeah, 3 of them. And we realized, as we were talking yesterday, that that she hasn't gotten sick like she used to. She's like, hey, you know what? I realized I don't get, like, I used to get like strep, or just really sick from my tonsils as well. I personally went through this myself too. And she was like, I haven't had that issue. My allergies are better. Like, oh, I have noticed all these changes. That's interesting. Like, I've kind of just lived the year not realizing that I haven't gotten these things that I typically would have gotten pretty often through the year. And it has a lot to do with, like, again, clearing up those cobwebs, cleaning it up, getting rid of it. And I love what Zendocrine can do to the body. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm right. 5. Okay. So as we approach the 5th product, the 5th item in the lineup for strengthening your interior, I can't help but to talk about the metabolic syndrome that we're dealing with in the United States. 6.8% of us, maybe a little bit higher now, are metabolically well. A lot of us have a little bit of, or a lot of, imbalancement of hormones. We've got more fat in the midsection. We've got camel's hump, a lot of stress in the United States, a lot of fast food in the United States, a lot of not enough sleep in the United States. And so that number is not surprising, but it's sad. It's a sad number. And when you think about it, you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I actually am part of that problem I am not metabolically well. I have a lot of work to do. Metabolic syndrome is closely linked to overweight, obesity, lack of physical activity. I do not like to exercise personally. And I find that, I am a victim of myself and my bad actions. So even 10 minutes, even 10 minutes of movement, 10 minutes of rebounding, the bouncing, getting that lymphatic system going. I know how great that is. And I always share that with my clients. But for me, it's such a struggle to get on that thing or to commit to it. So I've been working really hard on making that time for something that I already don't like. It's kind of funny because when we don't like something, we always find excuses to like all of a sudden run out of time and you're too tired, etc. So I want to be able to incorporate that because I know when I do that, it adds really great boost to my overall metabolic syndrome and making it better instead of worse. Also working on the insulin resistance part of it, being able to smooth out the blood spikes. There's a supplement that we have that can do that. And incorporating that, but also when we're active and we're cleansing the gut and we're supporting getting rid of all these other factors and doing the right thing with our enzymes and taking the metabolic blend, which I'm going to talk about here next, excuse me, can really cause that smoothness of blood sugar when you eat something. And so insulin resistance, it gets better all of a sudden, you know? So where I want to get at is talking about some of the foods that we eat and all the things that we crave and all the things that create this bad situation for us. And I want to mention for us that are sometimes fighting the scale, that it's not just a matter of appearance or size of clothing. In fact, a lot of the metabolic syndrome happens to those that are also very skinny, very thin, and that could fit into almost anything because they don't have to worry about, oh, okay, well, this love handle over here or the belly fat over here. It is actually affected. Our metabolic syndrome happens when we are not having informed health self-care. So we don't know what our hormones are like. We don't know what our numbers are for, whatever hormones we're looking at that affect our thyroid. We don't know if if we've got fatty liver from eating like a lot of fast food or drinking a lot of alcohol or things that happen. We don't know if we're having struggle because we're exposed to a lot of toxic load in the home by spraying Clorox and Fabuloso and Pine Sol, and then the stuff that we apply on our bodies. All those things cause toxic load in the body and then throw off your metabolic system. So even if you're skinny and you're using all these things or doing all these things, not managing stress, not sleeping well, not exercising, not eating right, you're going to create metabolic syndrome. And so maybe a surprise for a lot of you that are watching this recording, and you're like, oh, I didn't even think about that. I didn't know that was a thing. It is a thing, and it will affect the way your metabolic syndrome scores at, whether that's good or bad, whether you're part of that 6.8% or you're not. And so it is important to take a look at something that's highlighted. A lot of times, for me personally, this is where I stand right now. I've got more of a pear situation going on. No, I think it's in between a pear and an apple right now. Where I haven't taken the moment to take care of my stress. Stress creates that hormone cortisol. High levels of cortisol create a lot of insulin resistance, then domino effects to this abdomen fat right in the hips, right on the edges, right on the camel's hump, back in the back, in the arms, underarms, right in that area where we have more fat accumulation because of not supporting the aspect of rest and stress management. That will make or break us. And it'll make us, it doesn't matter how organic or how many supplements I eat, if I'm not supporting that aspect of my life, I'm going to run into this issue. So it's something to highlight. It's something to really pay attention to. If you are a person that is really into sweets and fast food and you eat a lot and you eat often and you have alcohol cravings and you have coffee cravings, I want to let you know today that one of the products that's in here that's going to support reducing the fat cells that we already have, supporting how much we're eating and craving throughout the day, is our wonderful metabolic blend that is an essential oil that has the beautiful smell of, for me, it's like ginger grapefruit, and it has grapefruit, it has lemon, peppermint, cinnamon, and also, did I say grapefruit already? Let's see, let's go over this really quick again. Grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon. All of that in one that supports with healthy metabolic function when ingested. So I like to either add it to my tea. I'm drinking tea right now. I can add one drop to it. I don't know if you guys can see my camera, but one drop in here. And I have my little reusable tea bag that I can just, before I drink, I could just kind of swirl it around and then take that in. And it tastes delicious. It's actually almost sweet. That cinnamon in it is really great. If you don't know, this cinnamon is actually great for smoothing out blood spikes. So especially after you're eating, eat a heavy dinner, etc. In addition to that, it helps reduce the fat cells when ingested. So if you're working towards, right now, what I've got going on is I've actually taken the metabolic blend and I've created this. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but let me see. I'm gonna stop. Oh no, you guys could see it. Okay, so this right here, this is a an oil blend where I added the metabolic blend into it. Wait, there it is. And I've added castor oil. I put 30 drops in here. It's a 30 milliliter roller bottle. You can find these on Amazon. And I'm just rolling it in areas of my body where I need support. The grapefruit as well, for those of us that have that make too much of one hormone. I can't remember which one it is, but the one that makes us like have the what do you call that thing? Oh my gosh, I can't think of it right now. But anyway, that have more like facial hair because of the imbalancement of hormone due to cortisol levels, etc., insulin resistance. You can support that with grapefruit. Grapefruit is great for that, and that is what's found in here. So applying it in the area right in here through your my double chin over here, down into the thyroid, applying it over the arms, over the belly, putting it into your mug of tea and drinking that. I have found a lot that when I am using the metabolic syndrome, the metabolic blend, I actually see if we can see that. I tend to feel like fuller quicker. I tend to also notice that things are too salty or too sweet. I was telling my friend today, I was meeting with her, and I was telling her that we had like a plate of cookies, and we threw them away because we all take the metabolic blend in our water. We put it in our hydro flask. We carry that around. We always have glass. For those of you that are brand new, it has to be glass or a good quality stainless steel cup where you add your oils into it. And we always drink, we have the metabolic blend down by the water station in our home. Excuse me. And we either add spearmint or lemon, or MetaPower seems to be pretty popular here in the house. And all of us here in the household were like, oh, that's too sweet. No, not craving that. No, that's too much cake. A lot of things like as far as that we used to indulge before in like, what would that be? Like cookies, obviously, right? For the holidays. So we would have eaten them all. We're not doing that anymore, right? And so when you're reducing sugar because of the curving that it's doing in your body with the use of the essential oils, grapefruit specifically, you start to see that reduction of sugars, and you're healthier. Like your immune system is stronger, because sugar does feed bad things. Now, I'll tell you right now, I have half a mug, half a cup. I don't know if you guys can see this here, but oh, let me go back here. I have half a mug of coffee here. Like this is from yesterday. I know it's kind of embarrassing. I was working up here and I didn't bring it downstairs. And this is from this morning. Like I don't crave to finish my whole entire mug of coffee. It's just something. It's not that I don't love. It's like a bad habit for me. Maybe a good habit. I don't know. Just depends on who you ask. But it's a habit for sure. And to have my coffee in the morning, it's just something that I do. My husband makes it every morning. He makes a great cup of coffee, and I have one, but I can't finish it. And it's just a lot of it has to do with like that curving of your taste buds that it's brought to you by the MetaPower. I focus too much on the MetaPower blend, but it's honestly so powerful and so amazing. So again, it helps curb your hunger cravings. It promotes mindful eating, so you feel fuller quicker. It helps improve exercise performance. So again, like I said, I made that roller bottle. I'm applying it over my abdomen, over the areas of support that I need. And I have been doing jumping jacks. Okay. I think jumping jacks are awesome. They tire me out. I can do 20, 25 of them. And I'm like, okay, I feel good. I feel like I actually did something with myself. It gets the lymphatic system going. And when you incorporate MetaPower into lymphatic drainage, you do an amazing job for yourself. And so I couldn't say how awesome it is and how long it took me to actually create this and make it a regimen. But hey, apparently the first year is always when we make big changes and that turn into habits is the goal, right? So I like anything that I've done the past year where I created changes that became habits and that I love that are working for me now. I know that if I incorporate this now and find the importance of it and make it super easy for myself to use, that you can do it too, and it can become a habit that you can follow through with every day. So on top of that, if you want to infuse the air in a sense, or if you want to create uplifting and stimulating environment, you can actually bust it into your diffuser. I have a diffuser in every area of my home. You just put that in when I'm just like doing something where I want to focus, or even those people that got started with this kit October, November, that only had this blend. They were using that to like feel uplifted. They're, oh my God, they love the smell. It's so good. It smells so yummy. And they were applying it on the palms of their hands and inhaling it to create uplifting and stimulating, etc. environment. I was telling them, put it in your diffuser. It's a great way to get it through and support. And remember, your olfactory system is so powerful and it creates so many different things in our body. Everything we smell and we eat and we breathe in, whatever, it affects our body one way or another. So this is a really great to support it as well. The way you want to take this is, it says 4 drops in 8 ounces of water. The bottle actually says to use 1 drop per 4 fluid ounces of water. I don't know why there's a typo there, but I like to follow what the bottle says, specifically because when it comes to oils internally, especially in the water, maybe some people, for me personally, for example, peppermint, like if I were to do 4 drops of peppermint in 8 ounces of water, I would be like, oh, okay, that's too much. I don't love peppermint that much in my water. It's great for fevers and it's great for upset stomach, but not for that, for me at least. And so start small is the point. 1 drop for every 4 ounces. You can add more. It's easier to add more than to take away and waste. And so start that way. Okay, so here is the regimen of the 90-day health transformation. You are going to take the GX Assist. It's going to cleanse your intestine, support any kind of cobwebs that are stuck in the lining of the gut, improve your immune system, improve the way you digest. PB Assist, 1 per day to promote the colonization of intestinal flora and anywhere else in the body, genitalia, oral, etc. Terrazymes, 1 to 3 before each meal for 30 days and beyond. Terrazymes is something that I want you to take on a regular basis, along with the PB Assist. Zendocrine, 2 capsules per day, 1 with each meal. I would do breakfast and then 1 at dinner. And then, or breakfast and then 1 at lunch, or however you want to do it, just twice a day, okay? And then your metabolic blend, 4 drops. Oh my gosh, again, that 1 drop in every 4 ounces of water, I think is a great way to start. And what is it going to cost you? If you're already an existing client, this is going to cost you, or I shouldn't say cost you, it's going to be an investment to you for $148.70. $148 to invest in your health. What an amazing way to begin the year. I think is wonderful. Personally, I think it is a no-brainer. It's awesome. It's a great lineup. What's really cool, and I'll share with you, we've gone a little bit over the hour almost, but I have something that I want to share with you, is that you have to remember that this is a 90-day regimen. So we're going to start you off obviously with that first 30 days of it, where we're strengthening by detoxing and fortifying and and then you glide right into the next 60 days of either your For Sure your lifelong vitality pack, which is your supplements, where you're going to get your omegas, your minerals, and your food nutrients, because remember, we know that the food nutrients in the dirt, the nutrition in the dirt is pretty bad in the United States, like really, really poor. And so we need to have a good solid line of supplementation. And then incorporating some of the 3 items here that I incorporated, Terrazymes would be one of them as well, that you can get at a discount when you bundle this up. This is just like a rough number of what it would cost you, depending on what your goals are. Let's say you're dealing with blood sugar issues, and I'd have you add the Assist, which would be the cost of the supplements bundled up with the Assist. That would be discounted for, like, I think it's $25 at that point. Or the probiotics, or the Mito 2 Max, which would give you that stamina and energy. And or definitely, I don't know why I don't have this pictured here, but I think it was because the price would have differentiated, but for sure the Terrazyme. So we might even switch this up for you depending on what some of your goals are. I just wanted to give us a rough draft of, depending on like who we're dealing with. Personally, me, I wanted to create support for my energy level, especially as we begin the year, because the holidays are all messy and wild, and blood sugars are important to me as well. So Um, then you will glide right into the last bit of it, which is another 90-day, the last bit of the 90 days, the last 30 days or 31 days, which would be Lifelong Vitality Pack. Collagen, very, very important. We have the World Plant-Based Innovation Awards for this product, and it's only been out for a little bit over a year in September. And then the probiotics, which are essential, right? This is a body tune-up is what I call this. So very important. Collagen, you can buy it at Costco, you can buy it at Walgreens, you can buy it at Walmart, you can buy it wherever you want, but you're not going to find this type of collagen. This is a marine collagen. It's 12 times more absorbable than anything out in the market. In this case, less is more. So there's 9 grams of marine collagen that have the NMN and NAD plus that are very supportive to your cell structure, to the way you feel cognitive, reducing inflammation, basically your tune-up. So the areas of your body that have wear and tear, it starts to remend that and support you with that. So just know that we have a 30-day a 90-day regimen set up for you with you in mind for your best self. Notice that in most of these, they're in the last 2 months and beyond, we do see something common, which is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. That is the foundation of health. And I won't focus too much on this. So if you're watching this recording, you don't get bored, but the person that invited you to watch this recording is going to guide you to make sure that we address you to be able to be sculpted into having the best tools that you need as you follow your 30, 60, 90-day regimen, creating an optimal health for you, strengthening your interior, living longer, healthier is the goal for us, for you. So, and for us too, of course, right? Of course, we're users of this product and we love what it has done to our bodies, and we hope the same for you. So with that said, I am so glad that you are here watching this recording. Please get a hold of the person that invited you to this class and let us know what you think. Let us know how we can support you. Have a wonderful night, morning, depending on what time you're watching this. And we can't wait to be able to walk this journey with you, support you, love on you, and see you thrive. You're not going to regret it. You're going to love every inch of it as you are repairing your body from within at cellular level. You're not going to find that anywhere. You have friends and sisters in Christ here that want to guide you through this journey, because we're also doing this together. And we have seen a lot of things improve in our health, hormones, digestion, skin, like you name it, we've seen it, and we want the same for you. Thank you so much for watching, and have a beautiful rest of your day and or night.